Beyoncé. I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put them out.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love.
I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. You know, dating her at the age of 30-some years old, and she's 17, 18 years old.
The situation around Jay-Z, DaBaby, and Beyoncé has become one of the most talked about stories in entertainment. What started as a simple joke about Diddy's scandal has turned into something much bigger. Fans believe DaBaby may have crossed a line, and that line involves two of the most powerful people in modern music, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. For years, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been known as the ultimate celebrity power couple. Their love story, talent, and influence have shaped a whole generation of music. They represent discipline, success, and privacy. Every public appearance is carefully planned. Every project is meant to strengthen their legacy, and every word they say matters. But recently, things took a strange turn. After DaBaby made fun of Diddy's downfall with a symbolic video, the internet started connecting different ideas. Some fans felt the joke had a double meaning, as if he was hinting at something about Diddy's past parties and the type of people who attended them. Soon, Beyoncé's name began appearing in the same conversations, and that is when everything changed.
Tell him thank you.
I want you to open that up because I want you to be able to make the face that you really want to make. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, open it now. Go ahead, open it now. You ain't gotta wait. Ain't nobody gonna take nothing from you. Oh no, he did. No, he did.
Thank you.
No, you know what you got. Count that thing.
Go ahead. Count up. Let me hold your envelope.
You gotta always pay your taxes.
Huh? Oh no, he didn't do that. I'm gonna hand him them little 520s. He's gonna be like, nah, big dog. Uncle Diddy, he gonna hey.
You a legend already. You had Diddy give you some racks.
Yeah, you know.
$1,000.
I just counted.
Yeah. I'm just trying to show you the path just in case.
They explained everything that Puff did. Diddy, as y'all know him as. Everything he did as far as the drug trafficking, having people bring him drugs, having people kidnapped, taken from their home, sitting up for hours in warehouses being given polygraph tests, beating of women, holding women over balconies. They prove that he bribed witnesses, tried to give certain people money. I guess it's not a bribery because there was no criminal charges, brought up prior to that. That's what the defense tried to say. But offering people money, selling lawsuits, things that he wasn't supposed to be guilty of, but he quick to settle them, quick to offer people money. The prosecution did that whole thing. They went through that whole gambit. Ain't nobody paying nobody no money if they ain't guilty of nothing. Not him. It was a lot of things that the prosecution did their job into showing us. Not only this guy's not a good guy, this guy behavior is detrimental to society.
To understand what is happening now, we need to look at what happened with Diddy. After years of rumors and lawsuits, Diddy was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation under the Mann Act. The case included serious claims about his private life, his close circle, and the mysterious freak-off parties that people in the industry had talked about for years. Prosecutors said Diddy used his money and influence to organize events that were not only inappropriate but deeply disturbing. Reports claimed that hotels were stocked with supplies like baby oil and lubricant for guests, and that everything was controlled behind closed doors. Diddy's legal team denied many of these claims, but the damage to his reputation was already done.
King son. Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
When DaBaby posted a video pouring out bottles of baby oil onto the sidewalk, people thought it was just another joke, but the timing made it seem deliberate.
When DaBaby posted a video pouring bottles of baby oil onto the sidewalk, many people first thought it was just another joke. However, the timing made it look intentional. He posted the video while Diddy's trial was still being discussed everywhere. To fans, it seemed like he was mocking the whole scandal. What no one expected was that the joke would take on a different meaning when social media users began wondering which celebrities had been close to Diddy in the past.
Because if he said that's happening, that's what's going on. Let me stick on this, man. Because if Gene Bill start crying, what DaBaby gonna do? We should have our rights too. Lil Nas, for doing that, should be canceled. If that's the case. Because I'm sure that offended some people that are heterosexual. Mario Sanchez out there in Illinois. Thanks for tapping in. Torrance Avon. He said him and his son was offended. Yeah, come on, man. And it's all right for you to feel like that, Torrance. Yeah, I can't say Torrance. Torrance or Terrence? It was Torrance. Torrance Avon. It's all right for you to feel like that. And nobody should, because you feel like that, nobody should be mad at you because you feel like that. But these people want to get mad at people that are because they don't agree with that lifestyle. That's all right. I have a right not to agree with that. I don't care about it.
This is where the story becomes more complicated. Over the years, there have been unconfirmed claims that many big names attended Diddy's private parties. Some people said they were just networking events. Others suggested they were much darker. As investigations continued, it became harder to separate rumor from fact. Then DaBaby's name was mentioned, and soon after, Beyoncé's name was also included. The internet started sharing old photos, collaborations, and possible connections. Some fans believe DaBaby's video was not only about Diddy, but also a hint that some major celebrities knew more about what happened at those gatherings than they admitted. The problem is that Beyoncé's brand is built on silence and control. She rarely responds to rumors. She does not engage in gossip. Her image is based on perfection and privacy. So when her name was mentioned, her fans quickly defended her. Behind the scenes, some insiders claimed that Jay-Z was quietly making sure the story did not continue to spread.
I know people in the industry, been around for a long time, was there when he first started dating Beyoncé at 17, 18, he was 30-something. You didn't know his age. I look back and see how old Jay-Z was. I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67, something like that, 67 right there, 69. I think he was born in 69. Beyonce, they say she was born in 81. You understand? But back then, in 81, when we was in the club together, 98, 99, she wasn't even supposed to be in the club, but she was in the club. It was Club Eugene's. And Jay was dating her. And at that time, if you look at Jay's age, he was about 30 years old. So, isn't she still somewhat a child? To me, she is. But I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. You know, dating her at the age of 30-some years old, and she's 17, 18 years old. If that's her true age. We really don't know her true age because Gabrielle Union said she went to junior high school with her, and Gabrielle Union is considered 6, 7 years older than Beyonce age that she getting. So we really don't know. You know what I'm saying? But to get back to your letter, I believe that the lawyer was doing what he did, and he threw shade at Puff in the interim of that by saying that all celebrities, you may think all celebrities are alike, you know what I'm saying? He know he's under this situation with Puff. But you got to look at this right here. They sent him a letter. Busby sent him a letter for 2 reasons, I believe. To open up the floodgate, just like that 1-800 bad boy number did, and people start calling in saying what Puff did to them. Because he already had that information from that person when they first did the suit against Puff. She made those allegations back then. So he sent him a letter saying, yo, listen to me, man. Hey, let's not let this go anywhere. Pay this off and we can walk away from it. And for what we know and what we've heard, that the girl information may not be totally right. Because I know in 2000, what she just said, and me being there and around, I know the atmosphere, I know the players, and I know how we moved and how we didn't move. You understand what I'm saying? So now, I know what she said about 2000 was wrong. I don't know, I'm not talking about what actually happened to her. I can't speak on what actually happened to her, but I can speak on the atmosphere that what she spoke on and how she got there. It wasn't happening. So now, to get back, they sent Jay this letter. Jay, nah, that ain't me. Guy with his lawyers and everything. His lawyers wrote that shit up. And now he presenting to the people like he wrote it. Everybody know that if he's stealing rhymes and he's stealing bars, I know that's your man, Mighty. But you know there's a lot of bars and a lot of rhymes he done stole from people.
When the final verdict in Diddy's trial was announced, it changed the mood of the entire entertainment world. One of hip-hop's most powerful figures had been found guilty of serious crimes. Diddy was sentenced to 50 months in prison after being convicted on 2 counts of transportation under the Mann Act. This was more than just a court decision. It was a turning point. For years, people had whispered about his secret lifestyle. Now a jury had confirmed that at least some of those stories were true. The glamour around his name disappeared and was replaced by uncertainty and fear.
Have you seen these sketches of Diddy crying in court after getting 50 months? Check your phone right quick.
Man, looking at these pictures, Diddy in court, the artist got him, looking at these pictures with Diddy in court, bruh, the artist got him crying. The artist got him holding his head. The artist got him dropping to his knees at the time of the verdict, crying on the chair. My heart goes out and it says, come and feed him beans. I can care less about his sadness. I can care less about him being in pain. I can care less about what he has to be faced with in court or in jail now. I don't have no remorseful feelings for him, bro. You understand? This is somebody that at one time I would have given my own life for. And to know this was trying to get people to take my life because I was trying to teach them to be right by people and tell them to be right by people. I have no remorse for this dude, bro. To see him like that, I know there is a God. And you can feel all the way you want to feel about me. You can say whatever you want to say about me. But karma is a mother. And if it ever gets back to you when you have done somebody wrong, not just me, I'm not saying me. I'm saying when you have done people wrong, you have done goals of people wrong, to see him on his knees begging like that, I would say something, but the LGBT community would be after me. So you'll never hear me say it, so I don't want to get in trouble with it. But bruh, I'm happy in the barrel of to see him like that.
What stood out most was how quiet many of Diddy's former friends and collaborators became. People who once praised him suddenly said nothing. No one wanted to be linked to his downfall. Every name connected to his parties or private events came under public attention. Social media users searched through old photos, videos, and interviews to see who had been part of his circle. Witnesses from the trial described tightly controlled gatherings that blurred the line between power and exploitation. Some said guests were recorded without consent. Others spoke about drugs, manipulation, and pressure to stay silent. Even though Diddy's lawyers argued that many claims were exaggerated, public opinion had already formed.
I don't have no sympathy for him. To see him like that, I know God is good. And God showed him. He can make you, he can break you. And I'm going to say it again. You might get flagged for this. I'm happier than a barrel of bro. Don't you see the smile on my face? Bruh, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't have no sympathy at all. Because I know he can play all the games he want to play. Did he have sympathy when he said, I don't give a f*** if Pop gotta die. I don't give a f*** if Big gotta die. Suge Knight can go to jail. Did he have any sympathy when he said to Wolf, I don't need you no more? Meech said, I don't need you no more. Set him off. Do you have sympathy when he told D. Ferg, nah, I can't do that. Nah, I don't with you. Nah, I can't do that like that. Did he have sympathy when he said to Wolf Mama, your son has delusions of grandeur. All he want to do is smoke weed and get high. Do you have sympathy for the notorious Big Mama? Talking about, I didn't go to the funeral. He ain't go to the funeral. Did he have sympathy for Craig Mack? Did he have sympathy for Black Rob to make sure he did the right thing by them? And he sure didn't have no damn sympathy for me when he told dudes to come at me. So looking at those pictures, bruh, I could tell you just like this.
After the verdict, people began asking who else might have known what was happening. That is when speculation about Beyoncé and Jay-Z returned. The internet linked old photos and business relationships, suggesting they were once part of the same inner circle. The verdict made everything more intense. It was no longer just gossip. It became about reputation and judgment. Who stood beside Diddy at his peak, and who stepped away when the truth came out. Jay-Z and Beyoncé were mentioned not because of evidence against them, but because they stayed silent. When DaBaby's symbolic video appeared, many people saw it as adding fuel to an already sensitive situation. The timing made his actions look like more than a joke. It seemed like he was pointing towards something people were already whispering about.
And if there's one thing I can tell you about Sean Carter, being embarrassed and being rejected are things he does not handle well. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're crazy. He didn't do anything to Big L. He didn't do anything to Lamont Coleman. But I think people tend to forget, if Dame had successfully signed Lamont to Rockefeller, we wouldn't even know about Reasonable Doubt. It would have stayed a cult classic, probably sold 750,000. If Lamont Coleman had signed to Rockefeller, he would have been the star. He's always removed anything that can make him look as average as he is. I don't know how many times they used to tell the story, oh, he has a photographic memory. He remembers all of his lyrics, yet he's always had a teleprompter in the floor at his shows. That's why he would always sit down and look down at make it look like he was looking at his shoes. No, he was reading the lyrics. He is a magician. Everything you see about him is an illusion. But what he loves most is controlling youth.
Well, that was something Nas said way back, saying, yeah, he was indulging with these back with R. Kelly.
And I wish I hadn't signed paperwork. And I wish I hadn't taken money. I wish.
Well, there's a lot of it you can't say.
Everybody else that didn't. I spent my time collecting these people. And they will have their day, and we will all get justice.
But what's crazy to me is, like, I don't see how anyone can come after you and call you crazy when we're going through it. And this is Aaliyah, Rihanna, Beyonce. There's a history of these.
Inga Marchand, also known as Foxy Brown, one of his first female artists, who was the little cousin of DJ Clark Kent, who just passed away from some cancer we didn't even know he had.
Now, she's denying it, but many say it's because she signed an NDA. Is that why?
Well, she did sign an NDA, and he's still paying her and her mother's bills right now. If anyone should be ashamed, it should be Inga. All of those diseases that she contracted from all of that unprotected with him. And I'm
allegedly.
not saying alleged. You say allegedly. I'm not, because I know it to be true. She had with my cousin right after that. She burned him. She set the numbers for the CDC in Philly on a new high at 15, 16, 17 years old. She was running all around Philadelphia because Jay-Z promised her that they could be, normal when she wasn't with Corrupt. Corrupt was a fake boyfriend, which is why when they tried to use her to say that she was actually in the car and there with Keepy D and all of that, I'm like, that girl wasn't even there.
Many believe the tension began right after the verdict. Every artist connected to Diddy had to choose whether to speak, stay silent, or distance themselves. Jay-Z is known for being strategic. He rarely reacts emotionally and always moves with purpose. Throughout his career, he has built relationships with powerful figures in music, business, and politics. He knows how to protect what he has built, including his wife's legacy. According to online discussions and entertainment insiders, Jay-Z was not happy with DaBaby's actions. It was not just about the baby oil joke. It was about the effect it had. Once Beyoncé's name was linked to conversations about Diddy, it became a serious issue. Even without proof, the internet can damage reputations quickly.
Diddy has just been hit with a brand new lawsuit that is naming Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James as witnesses of a freak-off. And this is not an April Fool's joke. This lawsuit was actually filed in court today. And it has other defendants listed with Diddy that I'm sure you've heard of before, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. This lawsuit was filed by a man named Joseph Manzaro against Diddy, another man named Eric, Brendan Paul, which is Diddy's alleged substance mule that got arrested after Diddy was was raided, Emilio Estefan and Adria English, the woman that filed the lawsuit against Diddy, who worked as a dancer during Diddy's white parties. This man is alleging that he was given substances and then transported against his will and was a victim of an organized criminal enterprise beginning in 2015, organized and
In Hollywood, threats are not always spoken directly. Sometimes they appear in silence, in phone calls that stop, meetings that get canceled, or opportunities that disappear. Some observers believe DaBaby may have felt these quiet consequences after his joke went too far. There were rumors that Jay-Z made it clear through private channels that he did not want Beyoncé's name connected to that kind of discussion. For DaBaby, whose career had already suffered because of past controversies, this kind of silent pressure could make things even more difficult.
Obvious because Beyonce has a deal there, and they know I know her. So, but you know,
how long have you known her?
Wow, a long time.
How long? 10 years?
However long she's been recording. That's when I met her.
Well, don't you remember how long it was?
Yeah, when I met her. I mean,
was it 5 years ago? Was it?
I met her 10 years ago.
But did you say to yourself at that time, "Wow"?
That's a fantastic talent.
Was that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, because
you saw talent before you saw anything else.
Yeah, because she was singing like a rapper.
While all of this was happening, Beyoncé stayed focused on her music and performances. Earlier this year, she performed in Paris as part of her Cowboy Carter tour, and Jay-Z joined her on stage as a surprise guest. It celebrated their 2-decade-long bond. Together, they reminded everyone why they are considered royalty in entertainment. Still, people continued talking online. The rumors about Diddy's social circle kept coming back. Some fans questioned how close Jay-Z and Beyoncé really were to Diddy. Were they close friends, professional partners, or simply part of a larger social network? There is no solid evidence linking Jay-Z or Beyoncé to anything that happened at Diddy's events. However, public opinion does not always wait for proof. When powerful names are mentioned in controversy, silence can seem mysterious. In that silence, theories grow. Jay-Z's alleged reaction to DaBaby may have simply been about protecting his family from being dragged into something that was not their fault. Once a rumor spreads, even if it is false, it can damage years of hard work.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
Guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think that the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to respond to that.
I know.
Um,
I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter,
Yes.
a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore. I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. We used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club back in the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign. I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
As of now, DaBaby has not made any further comments. He has not explained his true intention behind the baby oil video. Some people believe it was just a coincidence. Others think it was a message. What is clear is that the video changed how many people saw him. Other artists have started distancing themselves from anything connected to Diddy. Some deleted old photos or avoided mentioning him. The fear of being linked to scandal has changed how many celebrities act in public. Jay-Z and Beyoncé continue to succeed, but DaBaby seems to be experiencing a different kind of silence, with fewer interviews, fewer collaborations, and fewer opportunities. Whether this is a natural career shift or outside pressure is unknown. Still, some fans wonder if DaBaby's small joke accidentally touched on something powerful people wanted to keep quiet. In an industry built on secrets and alliances, one careless moment can open doors that were never meant to be opened.
Did you see a significant change in him, or did he keep it gangster around his boys? It's funny, when Jay first met Beyonce, Dame was like, you should wipe her. She's the one. It was a time in Paris when they sent us Bonnie and Clyde, and me and Dame was at the Plaza Athénée, and they sent us the song. It was the final, and when we heard that song, Dame looked at me and said, yo, he's in love. So if y'all know Jay, a lot of times his everything comes out in music. When he does interviews, he's a little more reluctant to speak about certain things, but it always comes out in his albums. And that time Bonnie and Clyde came out, we knew Jay was in love with Beyonce.
Did you see a significant change in him, or did he keep it gangster around his boys? It is funny because when Jay first met Beyoncé, Dame said, you should wife her. She's the one. There was a time in Paris when they sent us Bonnie and Clyde. Me and Jay and Dame were at the Plaza Hotel when they sent the final version of the song. When we heard it, Dame looked at me and said, yo, he's in love. If you know Jay, you understand that his feelings usually come out in his music. In interviews, he is more reluctant to talk about certain things, but it always appears in his albums. When Bonnie and Clyde came out, we knew Jay was in love with Beyoncé.